hometown heroes, breaking the curse, and taking a stand. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do.
My Lord, it sounds like some highly important content coming your way today, and methinks it's not.
It feels heavy and yet light as a feather, stiff as a board. Can't be clearer.
Because I'm about to add one to the list that just breaking news. This just in 9 a.m. this morning, Melissa.
Say more.
Got a text from the Sun. It's a nuclear alert. A text alert from the nearby nuclear power plant.
Shut
Dun, dun, dun.
your face.
Yes. He texted me and said, I think it was probably in the 8 o'clock hour, Shirley, because he was driving, don't call me Shirley, driving to work, and got a text alert that he didn't like from the nuclear power plant.
Yeah.
Saying, an emergency system alarm has gone off. We'd like you to ignore it, and no further action is required. So he called me and said, I don't know if I should trust the man on this one. And I said, well, ordinarily, I would say you're right. Let's not trust him. So let's check news sources. Let's do this. Let's do this. The whole thing was so extraordinary to me because I would have bet you hard money that there is not a single nuclear power facility or powered facility in my entire state. Turns out there's 3. There's one in shitting distance from my son, and it's very large. Turns out there's another one in Charlotte, and there's one in good old Winston-Salem, which is not that far from me.
Let me
so
ask
I'm
you.
surrounded on 3 sides by the nukes.
When you were doing all of your visit Winston-Salem, did you ever put that into your tourism texts, emails?
And I'll do you one better. They
Yeah.
once had me make a map of where you can empty the pooper
Shut up.
in your RV.
Shut up. And it was.
So we know where everything is except the nuclear bombs.
That's fucking crazy. Yo, crazy.
This is coming from a little enterprise we like to call Duke Power. So I imagine that the power plants have some sort of nuclear reaction. I don't fucking know. But I do know that Duke Power was responsible for a massive coal ash spill where they damaged just miles and miles of natural resources and fucked with the drinking water to the tune of several billion with a B. Definitely million with an M, maybe 1 billion. Could be multiple billion. That they had to pay back to the residents and the state to clean up their bullshit. But they went for many years not even admitting they had done it. So
that sounds right.
We're home.
That sounds right.
We're home to some polluters. But I didn't know that they were going to blow us and fry us on, the day after the 4th of works. But here we are. Anyway, within 7 minutes, literally 7 minutes of that phone conversation, 3 news outlets all published an article, a story, an alert saying, here's what we know. They're saying there's nothing. Everybody should be fine. We think it's fine. This is ABC. This is Google News.
I'm like, how reputable are these? Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, at a certain point. And then before I even went to any of those sources, the first place that I went to discover that there's nuclear power afoot was the website. And lo and behold, the plant nearest to him published last year that they're going to be doing an emergency test on July 10th. So methinks
it's
somebody,
early.
And it's not yet July 10th
right.
as we record. So it tells me that somebody just went, this one? Which is also like the Homer Simpson level of I'm super glad that they're in charge of our nukes.
This one? Today?
Yeah.
2 days early? Yeah, that's very disconcerting. We are 10 miles from the Limerick nuclear power plant by my home. And we have a siren that is at the 10-mile out mark that goes off regularly, like maybe twice a month. It's the test of the emergency
We're still here.
broadcast system.
We could kill you
any minute.
Just so you remember.
So it's
don't sleep tonight, kids.
Super unnerving when you're driving by it and it goes off, but that's it. It's so loud. It's so fucking loud.
Nobody loves that. Nobody loves that.
Nobody. Yeah. So, that's very upsetting. And those are supposed to be your Higglytown heroes. Do you remember that show? Which is your kids ever?
No, I remember the name. That's about it. And I think they looked like Fisher Price little people.
Weeble Wobbles or little people.
Wobbles.
Yeah.
Weeble Wobbles. I wobble, but they don't fall down.
Yep, that's it. I loved them. They were my favorite. I'm like, I really like the name. It was
Weeble people wobble, but they don't fall down. I believe is how that went. It's
Weebles.
critical that we get this right
Weebles wobble, but we don't fall
for the
down.
documentary.
Oh my God, could you fucking imagine? I have a source of far from pride that I would like to share with you, and it
I wanna
is
hear
my
it.
hometown heroes not on the board. I am wildly disappointed in and this is the reason I'm not going to have a job with my school district anytime soon, because they don't want somebody. It's the same reason they wanted me on a committee, just not in their employ. You can open up the New York Times from last weekend and see this article. Think
Yeah.
New York Times goes, not just local. Can we agree? That's a pretty much worldwide.
I feel like their footprint spreads beyond New York.
It's pretty big. It's pretty big. So here's the article, just reading you the title. Students target teachers group in TikTok attack, shaking their school. Okay, so this group of 7th and 8th graders in my hometown where my kids went to middle school,
Oh my gosh.
impersonating their teachers, they posted disparaging, lewd, racist, homophobic, wildly illegal, like small child issues, in the first known mass attack of its kind in the U.S. Have students taken their teachers' images, created a TikTok, like maybe for an A-push exam saying, study your states, know your maps, like done weird, tweaky, what? Sure. Did they ever do it en masse like this in our middle school? 7th and 8th graders, like 20 of them, they all made these accounts and took pictures and videos of their teachers, both from their social media and IRL, like in the classroom, and they used that to create these accounts, which are completely slanderous and completely defamatory. Is that a word? Yeah. And it is completely fucking disgusting that this happens. What now? Well, it happened, I think, like in March, April. So that's
right. We talked about
right.
it. Right.
So now it's on whatever page of the New York Times, and we got a text from Germany. Is this your school district? From Paris, from people who are at the Olympics? Is this my friend was here from Israel yesterday? Isn't this where yes, that is where my children.
Don't you love that shit?
Yeah.
When something that has absolutely nothing to do with you, and people are like, "Are these your friends? Is this your kid? Is this your kid's account? I unfollowed your kid. You should control your kid." And I'm like, why don't you fucking shut up? Because here's how much you know about it. 0, none. It's a negative, less than. Also, quiet. It's not good.
Okay, so it's your kid that does this. What do you do?
No.
What do you do?
We're not going to let that sentence. We're not letting that sentence float out there. No, it is not.
It is not Fugazi's kid who had anything to do with this.
In a purely hypothetical, unrelated, and disconnected storyline.
Let me give you a ridiculous question.
What would one do if your fictitious, hypothetical, hypoallergenic child did this?
Yes. Well, I mean, these parents.
Hypotropic.
These parents, I feel like, are like, nah, come on. 2 of the girls made an apology TikTok that said, I'm sorry.
We don't like jail.
If you can't take it, we're just kids, and it was just a joke, and we're going to do it again. I'm sorry. What? I'm sorry. Huh? That is not
From
an
the
apology.
Donald J. Trump School of Public Relations.
And that is kind of where I'm going with this. What do? These are the parents who did not want their kids to go to the technical high school because they need to take, my kids need all APs. Yes, it's important that we have other paths and tracks for learning, but not for my kid. My kid needs to do right. What do you do?
So are you trying to suggest that these middle school, pre-high school hijinks were done as a form of not protest, but vengeance against teachers who made advancement decisions that the child and or the family didn't like? Is that in there somewhere? Because that's a totally different
I don't think
animal
so.
We're really stupid middle school kids
I think it's
who
the
did something
first.
really stupid, and now we have to unring that bell, which is very difficult to do.
Am I being naive to say I think it's the first? Like it's the we think this is funny, it's a joke. I don't even think they know if they're raising up to X, Y, or Z classes yet. So I think when they did it, that wasn't really an issue. So
well, I'll tell you this. I have encountered some middle teenagers who have made some really terrible suggestions that have not evolved into choices, but they find these suggestions to be hilarious.
Uh-oh.
They wanted to, in pretend land, start a T-shirt company that had T-shirt slogans that dragged a particular teacher who was known for being a particular, chapped ass to everybody. And then the suggestion became, well, if we did it at the other school, she's so notorious. If we did it at the other school, people would buy them. And then here's how, even when you get expelled, you're going to make so much money selling the T-shirts, it don't matter. And I'm like, stop. Just stop this stupid stop. And it was a joke.
Thank God.
It was a joke. But any adult within the radius still used it as an opportunity to say, ha ha, not even funny, because we're not going to say ha ha, because let me break it down for you. And that kid that did this thing, and 2 school districts over, that kid
urban
who posted
legend,
a racist thing, and that kid who physically got into a fight. Now, that kid. Don't fuck up your life. And also don't fuck up somebody else's life. So, yeah, they did this in conversation with themselves and us because we're all connected. So what happens in a household where the kids don't have those kind of candorous conversations? That's a new podcast we're starting. It's called Candorous Conversations, featuring Melissa. Yeah, I'm done. I got no help. Clearly I can help no one, not even myself.
Honestly, I had lunch with one of the administrators, and she said, look, we did all we can do. We sent out a strongly worded letter, and I'm like, that'll do it. And I said, are you having any, I helped start this responsibility for I was there when I started nothing. I was there as part of the group. I told a parent she was a bad parent for not knowing what her child was.
I will super remember that forever.
For not knowing what her kid's doing on social media. Like, I've started shit. Like, I really have. So that helped start a program of be aware of what your kid's doing on social media, but you have to go to the program to see it. It's not something that just, if we have it, it's in your brain. You have to try and participate in Candorous Conversations. By Amy.
Featuring Melissa.
By Amy. So that would have been great. And if you don't go, you don't go, and you don't get the information. But these parents I don't know what they're doing, but here's my answer. Sue those fucking parents until it hurts.
All right. No,
you are responsible for your children at that age.
Correct.
Totally
correct.
You should be held responsible. They should not have social media for a year. They should do, what would Carrie Ann call it? Some kind of justice.
Situational.
Proportionate. Appropriate, proportionate, just whatever the justice is for a child.
Vengement-logical.
Yeah.
Chaos-strophic.
Candorly,
Yep.
I say that's crazy, but I would like there to be some sort of justice. If that means teaching a course on what's appropriate, they just do not understand the assignment. If they are still posting things that say
shame-horrific,
we're gonna do it again.
Shame-horrific justice.
They need a reality check.
All of it has to be placed into the context that those young kids' brains operate. That's the challenge here.
Okay.
Because we cannot even conceive of the perspective that they have, and they cannot conceive of ours. They're too far apart.
Agree.
They have never lived a day without public documentation, editorialization, and commentary on every aspect of their and everyone else's lives. They don't understand the concept of privacy, of holding something back in the same way that we do. And we don't fully understand it in the way that we did when we were young. So we're grappling with it's changing dynamically, and they've come up through the system never understanding anything else. So add to that the flash in the pan syndrome, that everything is over 10 minutes after it begins. So the sense of permanence and seriousness is lost on them. Add to the fact that better than half of what you see is false and proven false in short order. The Hak Tua girl that I think we talked about it last week. Hak Tua is now doing an interview circuit where she says the internet has made 100% of this up. I'm not a teacher. I work in a factory, and I did not lose my job. I still work there. Ain't none of that true. So did I say it? Of course, I proudly said it. I'll say it again. I'll say it again. But I didn't lose anything because of it. That's all some
crazy
bullshit. Right. In the same way that all them dead actors want to come into your TikTok feed.
Yes, that's also
right?
crazy.
In the same way that political falsehoods want to find their way into everyone's social feeds, right? So this idea that because it's out there doesn't make it true is sort of baked into their experience in a way that we're still learning. And all of that, sadly, I believe, coupled with their juvenile brains, attitudes, and, humor sets, creates this environment where like, what's that matter? Who cares? It's just entertainment. It's just content. It'll blow over. And guess what? In our experience, no leaders suffer any consequences from doing the exact same thing.
That is
so why should
true.
I?
Yes.
That's so I there is no result to this that's logical or impactful. There's just not. It's just, oops, that happened. Somebody got screwed. What's illegal about it? Yeah, it's slander. But how did they slander this person? They said some things that they made insults. Like, did it affect you? What was the monetary result?
Does it have to be monetary for a reputation? I mean, they could seek monetary payback for a So one of the guys that my kids know all of these teachers really well. They've been there 20 years, right?
That's crazy.
So, and they felt terrible. They thought, do I send her an email and tell her I thought
who
she
would
was
target
one of
this good teacher?
Right?
Okay, that's even worse.
Right?
I didn't even know that was part of the deal.
One of the guys is the student council advisor and has been for 15 years. So he took our kids on a retreat to Harrisburg to learn all about the government and what they're doing and
what happens when you slander a teacher?
what happens
Nothing.
when you fuck around
Right.
and find out what? Like, there is no what anymore. So yeah,
Find out you can keep fucking around, I guess.
so robotics coaches, like, these are people who have children entrusted with them on
The answer
outside
is
of school
they
things.
could have been absolute a-holes. Nobody deserves this kind of targeting. Nobody
But they
deserves
weren't.
this kind
They
of public
were
attention and shame. And it's
the
worse
faves.
when the people who deserve it least get hit.
Yeah.
That's the worst. That's absolutely the
My
worst.
kids read it and they're like, what do I do? What do I do? I'm like, you know better, do better. Like that. If you want to send an email, sure. Go ahead and say those were some good years. Learned a lot from you. That's always nice to hear as a teacher, but
Counter narrative is helpful too.
yeah. So in the
In a public space, a counter narrative is always helpful. This is my favorite teacher. Love him. Everything I had to say, everything was wonderful.
these two girls that put out that last one, but all those kids, tiny firing squad. Seriously, they should not have phones. They should not have. They have no idea how to use responsibly this incredible tool in their hands.
I don't know how to deal with it. This is the reality of my current circumstance, and I want to apologize for it before I say it, because I don't think it needs an apology, but I understand on some level I shouldn't be as isolated as this. And here it comes. We have been in a private school situation outside the public school, meaning outside the rules for all. We have had independent school rules voted on, agreed upon,
Signed
paid
off
into,
on, yeah.
quite literally, right. And I can guarantee you that my first reaction is, okay, these kids did something stupid on social media. Well, they're all expelled, period.
That was
So
my
that's it.
first
That's
response,
That's
too.
the end of it.
Right.
That's the end of it. And guess what? Nobody else wants to get expelled for doing something that stupid, and there dieth the T-shirt conversation.
Correct.
Right? So it's pretty easy when there is a swift and consistent consequence. Now, is it way too harsh? Probably. Do I accept it? Yeah, it works as a deterrent. And also, what the fuck, idiot? This goes against every value. And guess what? Whoops, try again. Game over. I don't know how that works in a public school setting. I don't know if you get suspended. I don't know if they even can legally based on shit you did outside of school. I don't know what the rules are.
That's exactly it. They did it outside of school. And I said, however, these kids, and I know before the year starts, you have to sign a code of conduct. And that's something that has the kind of person you're going to be and represent our school in and out of school. If you go on whatever it is, that code of conduct was 100% breached, and they do have grounds. But I don't know that a code of conduct.
Well, it's like committing a crime outside of school. How does that affect you at school? Because then you get into this philosophical conversation, this legal conversation about there is a course of action, but it happens outside of school. You did something outside of school, so the police will now be involved. Well, who's TikTok's police? China? They're not coming to help you.
China?
China?
No, they are not coming to help. Crazy, though.
China.
They thought it was done at this school. Like,
Things they say about me on TikTok. China.
China.
China. China.
they thought it
Bing,
was
bing,
finished,
bong, bong.
and then the New York Times got a hold of it, and it's everywhere now. I'm getting...
Well, I have my own beef with the New York Times. We can't trust them anymore. I don't know that we ever could. I'm super upset with the New York Times. They no longer speak for me, which is really frustrating. So the amount of support of fascism that they have done throughout their entire history and are continuing to do now it's not okay. It's just not okay. It's not the bastion of objective reporting.
Neither
I
is
thought
the
it was. And I don't
Supreme
know that any
Court.
place is.
You-
I don't know that any place
Take
is.
it-
Well, I didn't hold the Supreme Court in high regard since 2017.
I think I
But,
held
okay.
it in regard, but now it's the regard I have is you don't want to know. Like, whom are you representing here? Like, not the Constitution, not the people. Oh, I see. No, thank you. So
I'll just add this flavor in, and then you can cut it, or we can move away from the political sphere. It is after July 4th, so I feel like we got to sneak some fireworks.
go
in.
ahead. My dogs are barking already. Go ahead.
Completely aside from any performance issues that you may have with current President Joe Biden,
Go ahead.
completely aside from that,
ahead.
if you are still of the mindset that former President Trump is not a suitable candidate, then why are you putting any energy into knocking the only opponent that he has? Instead,
Shut the fuck
why
up.
not put 100% of the energy that you are currently putting into propagating stories about the unsuitable nature of his opponent, and instead put all of that energy into getting current President Joe Biden reelected? Did you think of that? You fucktard? Did you? Did you think of that? Okay? Guess what? It's what you got. So make it work, or you're as good as a bleach drinker. I don't even understand what you're doing. And that comes back to New York Times editorial board. That comes back to a whole bunch
All of
because
you.
they are.
Yeah.
It comes back to everyone who. I am not holding up either candidate and saying they are a perfect choice.
But you
I'm
know
not
who's
holding up
way
either
worse.
candidate and saying they are great choices. I am holding up one candidate and saying this is the only acceptable choice. That's what I'm doing. And I think a lot of people are doing that too. So let's get on board and stop going. Of the two candidates, I don't like either one. We're back to where we were. We're back to where we were that got us in this fucking mess
Who's
with
more
Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Dangerous to
Remember
you.
those
Yeah, I
days?
do. It's awful.
I do. I knocked on a whole lot of fucking doors, and I remember people telling me to my face, I voted straight Democrat the whole ticket except for one. I knocked on literally more than 100 doors because I counted them, and people told me this to my face over and over. And that's the way our state. That's the way our state went, and that's the way the thing went. If we'd held our state, we would have been one of the ones. But let's instead talk about getting sleepy at a 10 p.m. debate from in front of a slanderous, slippery, convicted felon.
Sundowning. I want to tell you I'm not cutting any of that because it is the perfect segue into the fact, and stay with me for a second. It'll feel like a boob leg, but I'll bring it right back.
I don't mind. I don't mind boob legs.
Did you see Axel F?
The Harry Potter movie that's made by that guy whose name is Laugh-Lot, Senior Laugh-Lot from Saturday Night Live. His name is Dark Marvin. What's his fucking name? He's the professor with nuts on him. Shut up! I'm gonna get there. Let me get it. Eddie Murphy. Woo! Where's them red pants? No, I never saw it.
Eddie Murphy.
I never saw it. I never saw
Eddie
it.
Murphy was in Beverly Hills Cop, Beverly Hills Cop 2, Beverly Hills Cop 64.
I never saw a single Beverly Cop.
Okay.
Not one of them.
Well, I have to tell you, shame. Ring, 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 ring. Shame.
All right, I feel it.
So on Netflix, I assume, I don't do the remote. That's actually a fight in our house. Like, can you just change the channel? You can't. Just take the remote. Don't make me do the remote. Who does the remote in your house?
Unfortunately for us, we all have it. So now we're really fucked. Everyone has it on their phones. So no matter what's going on, you can override the person next to you. Like everyone gets a remote.
It's like a Jackbox.
It's like a gift with purchase.
Yeah.
It fucking sucks.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I watched this final, I hope, final episode of Beverly Hills Cop, and Eddie Murphy goes.
Is that Miami Vice? Maybe
You know,
they're all the same.
Eddie Murphy
they're all the same.
goes
City Cop. Yeah.
goes back and I could tear apart the whole movie. I loved it because it was nostalgia, and I could tell you that Judge Reinhold, who really only appears in the last scene, and I turned to my husband and said, "Why is he only here?" And he said, "Fucking look at him, Melissa. He cannot handle, like he's rough, and his partner rough. The whole thing was rough." But I loved it.
Well, why you watch it? Does
I loved
Eddie need
it.
a
Eddie
second
Murphy
home
was
or
great.
something?
He looks 12. He made a pact with Satan. He's fine. You dropped your eyes.
Black don't crack.
He was great. So I'm watching this, and in there, dating or formerly dating his daughter in the movie is Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and
Sure.
playing a cop in there is Kevin Bacon. So the cast was pretty good in my opinion.
Well, Kevin's still making up money from that man who took all his
Bernie
money.
Madoff
OFF.
Fleeced
Yep.
him. So I'll support anything he does, unless he jumps into the quiet place where I want to kill myself when the commercial comes on, diving.
I'm so tired of that dusty, creepy shit. I have no interest. All right, back to Dr. Copper.
So these gents are in this movie, and occasionally these in Vanity Fair, some of these places have them interview each other as publicity on TikTok for the movie. So while doing publicity, Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Kevin Bacon are saying, okay, what's your favorite true crime? What have you become obsessed with in true crime? So Kevin Bacon says, like The Jinx. Remember that series, The Jinx? That was fucking fantastic.
I do.
Obsessed.
I do remember it.
We even watched The Jinx 2. Love all of it. Great. Then he goes, oh, and The Staircase. That was a really good one, too. That show, that series about the staircase. Did she fall? Was she pushed? What happened? Great. Then he turns to Joseph Gordon-Levitt and he goes, hey, same question to you. What true crime are you just obsessed with that you just can't believe? And he said, all right, I'll go there. Remember that time where a former president called the governor of the state of Georgia and said, find me over 11,000 votes and put my ass back in the White House?
Jordan Gisher-Levitt for president. Jordan Gisher-Levitt for president.
Can his vice president be Mariska? What do you call her?
Her fucking name is Mariska Hargitay. I don't even understand what's funny about that. The poor woman doesn't need you laughing at her.
I'm laughing at you. That is not her name.
Mariska Hargitay as her name.
Right.
And it's been her name since she was born on the planet Pluton. And she comes here to us with love in her heart.
For VP.
Along with Gordon Christian-Levitt.
Gordon Christian-Levitt. That is it. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is now my fucking hero. Did I repost that immediately? And then he said, yeah, I said it. Come for me if you want. I'm like, I'm coming for you. And I'm bringing you babka. I'm bringing you, what else is delightful? A big vat of matzo ball soup. I'm bringing you tasty cakes. I'm bringing you everything Philadelphia and Jews have to offer. Let's go.
Oh, Gordon.
Don't cancel
Good
him,
job,
please.
Gordy.
I love him. I love him to pieces. But how great was that for him to come on
He's
TikTok?
too tiny to get canceled.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, he's too tiny to have an impact either. But I would like it if he could have an impact. That would have been nicey nice. Amy.
Yes, ma'am.
You posted something that really had me spinning.
Oh, no.
You asked me what unserious.
Yes.
Immediately I'm out. Generational curse. Back in. I'm back in. Am I breaking?
Right.
Can you lead me with an example so I can appropriately answer the question?
So some among us will have heard the phrase generational curse, and that we carry them from our forebears through to our offspring, and it's time to not do that, okay? Well, we're also carrying habits, tips, tricks, stupiditize, all the things that we have that we don't need to. And they are unserious. So this is a way of not making light of the concept of a generational curse and saying, what unserious generational curse are you breaking? And here's a great example. Do you or have you ever had in your refrigerator
Ruh-roh.
a tub of Country Crock not filled with Country Crock alternative butter? That's an unserious curse. People who use other who use any container as air quotes Tupperware.
I broke
that's
that
the kind of
curse.
thing that we're talking about. Yeah.
I broke
So we
that
didn't-
curse. But
yeah.
yes, I know
I'm not-
exactly. I was the one who took the Wonder Bread sleeve with the blue, yellow, and red bubbles on it as my
Yes, ma'am.
lunch bag
Whoa.
one day. At
break that one.
right
Yeah.
at the end of the loaf, I guess, the last two pieces. So not only did I get the ass of the bread, I had to take the bag to be mortified at school. So yes, I broke that.
I'm going to repeat a joke that I've told
Oh,
on here
no.
before. What do you call the last piece of bread? The end piece. What do you call that?
The heel.
We call that the hoe because everybody touch it, but nobody want it.
Oh, I love that. That is so funny. That is awesome. Nobody wants it. Nobody's marrying that piece.
Nobody keep it.
Can you make me a sandwich with both heels, please?
I don't want the hoe.
I'm sorry, what? That's if it were
Everybody touch it, but nobody want
a
it.
crusty loaf, I'll take it. In Wonder Bread, are you out of your fucking mind? Get that shit off
Poor
my
thing.
plate.
So here's the unserious one that I'm breaking.
ahead.
And I am hopeful that it doesn't come as a shock to you and that you already think, oh, I do that too. Excellent. I hope I'm not educating you right now is where I'm going.
Go ahead.
When you acquire sour cream, fresh, from the Department of Sour Creameries, you bring it into your home.
Yes.
You remove the outer plastic gripper lid. And then typically there is a foil or a less than foil inner wrap.
That I immediately peel off in its entirety and throw in the trash can.
Praise Allah.
Okay.
That is correct. There are a vast and great many of us, and this also works with cream
Us?
cheeseries.
Did you say us?
That, yes, because we have to count ourselves among humanity.
Oh, okay.
Who will peel back some of their cream cheese, whiphead cream cheese tinlet, and then try to repaste it back down in there. Guess what you're doing? Guess what you're doing? You are ruining your cream cheese. You are ruining your sour cream. It should be removed in its entirety, discarded. And the other thing you should do is when you put your yogurt or your sour cream back in the refrigerator, put the lid on, and then give it a whack. Pick the entire jar lidded up and boom, tap it on its bottom on the counter.
Lidded.
And that will make everything in it
Settle.
settle to a flat. You could go in there with a spoon and sit there and smooth it all out, but I haven't got fucking time for this. You just hit it on the ass and then you put it back in the refrigerator because the gullies that you leave in there from your spoon dipping in or your, animal claw
The
or whatever
water
was going
hole?
in there to get, they make a hole, and that hole collects the water or the liquid, and that is what actually causes premature aging of your dairy.
Nobody wants premature aging,
It's
period.
a super pass.
Period.
It's a super pass. And the other tip that I learned is celery should be wrapped in tinfoil and put in your refrigerator fully wrapped head to tits in tinfoil. And it will keep for up to a month crisp.
Shut your
I
face.
shit-
It doesn't rubberize with foil.
Not in days. Tin foil. Wrap that shit in tinfoil.
Say foil again.
You look like a crazy asshole, but you got to do it. I won't.
Say foil
You just got to
again.
wrap it up in a tin product. You got to wrap it up.
Aluminium. It's wrapped up in the
Stop it.
aluminium.
Just get a hold of yourself. Wrap it in tinfoil and put it in your dishwasher. Nope. The refrigerator. Wrong. What happened? What happened?
Mini stroke. It's fine. It's fine. I'm
You
fine.
know where it belongs.
in the
put
fridge.
it in there.
Yeah.
Put it in wrap it in tinfoil first.
We had a whole debate. Somebody who did residency with my husband, he freaked out at his wife because she left that furl on top of the cream cheese, and he's going in to take.
Are they divorced now?
No, they're not. He's going in to take. It's all over the top of his hand because his knife is going in to take cream cheese. He said,
Oh my god.
"What the fuck is in front of all of the children? What the fuck is wrong with you? You know this isn't meant to stay on in perpetuity." And he just throws it. It sticks to the wall.
That's like somebody who used toothpaste and leave toothpaste on the counter, like droplet,
because
dribble,
that belongs
droplets.
there too.
Or can't be bothered to put the fucking lid back on the toothpaste. First of all, if you can't buy a toothpaste with an attached lid for this very purpose,
The cap.
my other favorite is when the cap is attached and they still don't put it down.
Flip top open. Yeah, that's infuriating.
What? What? Why? How? And who would allow you to live this long under those circumstances? These are really the questions I have in that order, all the orders.
Dear listener, that's a really good question. I didn't understand it when she had first put it on our board to discuss. We are very curious to hear your answer of what are those unserious generational curses that you are breaking. Do you put leftover mac and cheese in the country crock? I made a choice to go to Target and buy a whole new set. First, there's the screw-ons. Then there's the bring it to someone else's house, and now I have to wash it here so I can bring it home. No, you gotta just let some things go. You do. You just have to let them go. I took it more seriously than that. So when I thought about it, I thought longevity. My great-grandmother lived to 107. My grandmother lived to like 100. My mother's...
You're going to break that?
I'm breaking it.
You tired?
I am
You're so sick of this shit.
I am too tired for this nonsense. I'm saying like in my 80s. I don't feel like this is something I could keep up for much longer than that. So if that long.
I don't feel like premature death counts as unserious. I think you could have gotten there from the... Yeah, let's go with like not wearing pantyhose.
Oh,
you could
yeah,
do that.
I did that. Wait, here, the other one was breadline mentality. That's the other thing, which is also pretty serious.
But that skirts the line. But I want to hear this. Break it down for me.
There was always anything
Got a lot
left.
of bread in your backstory, Wonder Bread.
Everything left was carefully wrapped in, I'm going to say saran wrap, but non-brand name saran. So what's that stuff called? Cling wrap?
Oh, cling film?
Yeah. So that, just all of the things, the waste thing, I have to let things, I don't have to eat everything on my plate. And keep going. I don't have to save it either. It's okay to let some things go.
Those are not unserious. Those are not, that's perfect for this. They are relatively, in the scheme of things, it's an unserious generational curse, but they're heavy on the curse.
Right.
Because it is a curse to, and it comes from this lack mentality,
scarcity.
breadline mentality.
Scarcity.
Yeah, or the reality of over reverence,
being poor,
for things of low to no value.
Yes,
right?
that is it. Really, reverence for low to no value items.
Right.
These things are not things to really worship and care for in the way you do. Try caring for your children that way instead and see how that goes.
She always brings it back to shaming the other parents.
Shaming of them. Hey, I
don't think you ever leave it.
That is my tactic for raising children. So why not turn it around every once in a while? Shaming of the parents. I like that. I like that a lot.
That's the annual shaming of the parents. Welcome, Whiff Parade. Yeah.
We talk about expiration dates and tipping on this show pretty consistently. I have a friend who posted an expiration date on dental floss.
What?
Can you tell me why dental floss would have an expiration date?
What's it made of? Cow dung or whatever?
Probably
sheep. What's that haggis stuff? Sheep
intestine. Oh, I'm guessing cotton and wax. Can you tell me why that would have an expiration date?
Only, I don't want to actually be accurate, but the only thing
wrong answers only.
No, because ordinarily I would say shut it, but my non-legally trained, immediate legal scholar brain goes to it's used in the body, literally inside the body, and therefore can be a bacterial contaminant that could cause severe injury. So they have to at least protect it differently than like a fucking pencil that has no business going in between your teeth. Pencils don't have expiration dates because they're not doing anything physically inside you're not consuming them.
Unless
this technically counts as a kind of a consumable because you put it so it's a food product adjacent because you're like toothpaste. It's going into your body and you're digesting some of it.
Adjacent. Okay.
I mean, I'm making it up, but at the same time, if you put just a little bit of bacterium on that dental floss, you gonna get sued and go to jail.
But the
with
dental
them TikTok
floss
teenagers
is in a little box. It's not in your mouth and then back in the box. Like you can't put toothpaste back in a tube. I just didn't understand how cotton and wax could really. I mean, it should say one use only. Don't let it sit on your desktop and then pick it up tomorrow.
It's not about it degrading outside of the package. It's about it degrading inside of the package, and therein lies the expiration date. Because that wax could degrade. That wax could corrode is the wrong word. It could mount some bacterial
It could
army.
melt. What does wax do? Melt? It could melt into another and de-wax another piece. Okay, I hear what you're saying. I strongly disagree. I accept your answer as probably what they were going with, but
the other way that they could go is the route of the tobacco, right? So they could just decide to put a warning label on the outside that say, floss your teeth. Could kill you. Like, and then just leave the date off, right? Floss at your own risk.
Oh, okay. I like that one. How
For
long
teeth
you had this?
only. And
For
mild.
teeth.
Well, here's the other part of it that you should know, because dentists love to get hard on telling you about this shit. There's some jazz in your teeth that's connected directly to your heart.
Yeah.
So dentists and hearties are like all up in it. If you got bad teeth, you're gonna die because there's some magic.
It's not magic. It's
fungo
blood.
juice that goes directly
It's
into
your bloodstream.
There's like a pipeline
Oh my
that goes
God.
to your ticker, and then it explodes all throughout your body. And guess what? Demon wax is the way to make that happen. Demon wax is the path to cardiac death.
So
That's the reason it has an expiration date. Solved.
Now-
Problem solved.
Now you know. See, you can learn from this show
The
too.
more you know.
Demon wax is now the name of the floss I will be inventing.
That's
and
it. That's what
selling.
it is. I'm telling you. I know all the things. Just ask me. I'll tell you about them.
I just don't get it. It's cotton. There is a bigger issue that we're not talking about, and that is hurricane season is upon us.
Man, oh man.
So we happen to know lots of people who went on vacation and are trapped at vacations. On TikTok, you see, I don't know, lounge chairs in pools. People, remember that cruise where everybody was dying on the cruise and they
Oh
were
my
sending
God.
like, send help. We need help. What have you seen about Barrel's demise?
Well, I got to tell you how much I love it. And if
I love
was,
the despair.
if I was more, because it was aspirational, and if I was more industrious, I would have already done this myself, but I haven't and I won't. So I'm just putting it out there for the person to quickly do it so I may benefit. There was some hotel in Jamaica, don't care which one it was, and one of the guests, they had called all of the guests pre-landing, pre-arrival of the
Oh.
hurricane. They had summoned all of the guests to a public area, set up a podium, and the owner / manager of the resort was out there with a microphone at a podium telling people how it's going to go. We are a direct hit for this hurricane. It's coming. If you've never been through a hurricane before, let me tell you what you're in for. Let me tell you how this resort, which has handled hurricanes before, but never a Category 5 and never a direct hit, is going to do. So he's just rattling it off. And somebody, I guess, was recording this ostensibly so they
For
would know
you.
how to behave
Okay.
in there. Like, it really was very serious. And toward the end of that kind of lengthy thing, and I was listening just because I was fascinated by it, the person at the podium said some magic words that I adore, and then I thought, these are hilarious and must be a meme. The words that I adore are, I'm going to call him the owner whether he was or not. He said, "You are my guests. I am your host. So I am prioritizing safety. Service is no longer on my list. Your safety is first. The safety of my team is equal to your safety. My team." Okay? Service
I love all of this so far.
is no longer on your list.
And that's exactly
You're gonna
not why they're going
You're
there.
going to go. We're going to leave this assembly, and you're going to go to your hotel room where you'll be given a box, and you will stay there until we tell you can come out. That's where you're going. There are no more public anything. You are going to begin to notice a reduction. You will begin losing services immediately. You will notice it now, and you will notice it even more when you wake up. And I was like, how is this not a fucking meme? You will begin losing service immediately, and it will get worse the longer you stay.
I love it.
I was like, I love this on so
I
many
love
levels
it.
because it's perfect for right then, and it's also fucking horrible out of context. And then he went on. Then later, days later, after the shit blew through, they had put all of the furniture in the pool. They had
I
done
saw
all this
this,
like
yeah.
preventative stuff that they did. Then some other person filmed a bunch of the guests, like the bro brigade,
Oh.
the men, and coming out and pulling chairs out of the pool and sweeping with brooms and cleaning the resort to get like palm fronds and righting things that had been blown over, just acting like this is their fucking backyard and we have to fix it now. And it was just so heartwarming.
I
to
love
see
that
these
so
paid
much.
Vacationers treating the place with respect and treating the folk who work there as partners in their fucking survival, which they were. And I have yet to see, and I don't want to see it if it exists, anybody bitching because they didn't get their ham sandwich or whatever the fuck it is, right? So, and it was the kind of resort where one presumes a pretty penny was paid to attend. So, right down to the fact that the man had a podium with a logo on it and a microphone working, and he was in a suit in Jamaica. Like, that's a lot. So, anyway, I just love it. You will begin to lose services immediately. You will notice it now. You will notice it, especially when you wake up, because that's basically like you ain't getting some fucking food. Fire Island or whatever it's called, Fire Festival, makes this shit look glamorous.
I think that's amazing. I saw the TikToks of all of the can you believe all the furniture, like all the people, like this was my vacation.
Oh, you did see ham sandwich talk.
I did,
okay.
but it was more panic talk. That's what it was.
Yeah.
It was more panic talk. Not. I think he handled that so beautifully, coming out right at the top and saying, fuck service. It's all about safety from here on in. And I would appreciate that as someone staying there, knowing how serious events are with Mother Nature at the helm. That is fucking terrifying. You don't know.
Right down to the education of, and this comes into play, we mentioned at the top, if it doesn't get cut, that my kid got a weird text alert about the nuclear facility this morning. Down to the education of this person saying, if this is your first crash course in hurricane etiquette, let me break it down for you. Don't stand by the fucking window.
It's bad.
Put your suitcase, that's with all your items in your suitcase, that is heaviest, and put that in your wardrobe or closet and close the door. Like, use some, if this isn't common sense, let's educate you right now. So, I mean, I do love the idea that, and I used the opportunity after the nuclear thing went away. I was like, well, you know, nobody's ever prepared when because he says, should I start driving in your direction? Like, what am I supposed to do? Because he got an alert from the nuclear people.
But what are you going to do?
Exploding.
Like, how far do you? I say drive towards it. At this point, I'd rather be in the mushroom at this point.
I used it as, after we learned there was no threat, I used it as an opportunity to say, no one has done their emergency preparedness. I guarantee you don't have a go bag. Why not make a go bag? Sometime this week, make a go bag. In your closet or in the trunk of your car, have a complete change of clothes, closed-toe shoes, flashlight, umbrella, $20, you know, I don't know, a couple of granola bars. Just leave that shit in an empty water bottle. Leave it in your car forever, right? Even if you're just out with your, I don't know what you have, your alligator for a walk in the park. And all of a sudden, somebody needs a tourniquet. You could have one. All right, I'm done. I don't have a go bag. I'd love to have a go bag with some photocopied information.
I was going to ask, what's in your go bag? Like, your go bag would be so interesting.
I have car bags. I have multiple car bags, and they are fantastic. The problem is I forget that I have them. So when people say things like, do you have a spare raincoat? And I have 3 folded raincoats in my car bag. I have multiple umbrellas. I have all the sunscreen. I have gum. I have all the fucking things. Gum is really high on the list.
I see that.
I have a lot of fucking things in there. And then I forget that they're in there. And then later I come back and I'm like, shit, I could have used that earring back when I was looking for a fucking earring back. And here I got one in my car bag. Oh, well. I'll sort it out sometime. You'll see.
Earring backing.
You'll be excited.
Earring backing is very specific. You know, I carried the spare pair of underpants for everybody in the family on every trip we go on. But, dear listener, what you don't know is that Amy travels not just with those bags. She has capsules. She has capsules for everything. This one's for my wires. This one's for my makeup. This one's for my... She has like 30, and they're all cute and zippy, and everything is...
I'm big on big zippy cute bags. That's true.
And organization.
I didn't know that was coming up today, but it's true.
Yeah,
it is
and
true.
Organization. I have actually learned a lot from her. I have started using the capsules that she uses. Capsules is probably the wrong word. They're little zippy bags. So I now keep all of my chargers in one, like she taught me to do. I've traveled with her several times. I have noticed her excellent skills in organization, and I aspire to be more like her. One of them once had a diffuser and all of her essential oils. That was this phase she went through. Do you still do that?
I don't anymore, because on that very trip, I didn't realize that one of the lids was not tight enough, and they commingled, and everything smelled like a not essential scent. All of it. I was like, what's that? Why are you staying?
What's
that
the
smell
opposite of essential?
What's that everything scent? Like, what is that? I don't like it. And now it is on literally everything. Well, I'll tell you something about knowing where things are. And perhaps that's an unserious generational curse that I should break for, if no one else, myself. If you ask me where something is in this house, I know, and I will tell you without hesitation. If you ask me where something is in your house, I will know, and I will tell you without hesitation.
Like my vanilla that you put in the trash can?
Well, that's where that belonged, expiration dates. But I will also tell you that staying as we did for a 2-week stint with another family of lacrossers, occasionally somebody would bust out, hey, where, to the one would say to the spouse, hey, where's my blah, blah, blah. And then I would, before anyone else, I would say, that's located. And then I would say, I hate having it. At one point, spouse asked spouse where something in the parked car that's not mine was located.
Oh, shit.
And I knew where it was
my
in the
God.
car. And I said, I followed it up with, I don't want to have this knowledge. I don't want to know where your shit is in your car.
But that
I
box
just know,
of condoms with one left is
I know
in the
where the
side
scissors are.
pocket.
I can always
Okay.
tell you where the Band-Aids are. I know where you left your keys last. And I also know where the toenail clippers are. So if you're curious, and your charger that you don't even know you lost, I have it. I put it here for you because you left it in a place you're not going to ever remember. So
I think you're excellent to have around.
I don't want to be that person. That is too much vigilance. That's called hyper.
You are hyper vigilant. That's
And I don't want to be that. I would blissfully love to float through this bitch like everybody else on the inner tube and say, oh, Shell bitch gonna tell me where my stuff is. And P.S. she got a drink made already. What's for dinner? I don't want to be that person. I really don't. I'm done with that job. Self-appointed as it was.
Do you feel that's a burden? Do you stress out? Do you just I spy it and then keep it, or do you case the place at all
I was
times?
unaware of it. No, I was thoroughly unaware of it.
Okay.
Then when I became aware of it, I thought it was like a charming quirk. Then I realized it was unpaid labor.
Oh, definitely. Oh,
That I had
interesting way to put it.
That I had self-appointed, right? I had given myself a job that no one asked me to have. And then it became valued by others. I do that a lot. I will develop expertise in an area or take on a volunteer job that no one asked for.
What
and
are
then once I've
the best snacks that the team has? What are rides to places? What are things Amy does that are invaluable? Invaluable?
and then I'm sort of locked in to this paradigm that I created.
Yes.
And trying to get out of it, it's not as easy as just stopping to do it. There's so much about who you fundamentally are as a person that when you start to shift and alter that in minor ways, it is so instantly percepted, commented
It's
on,
ripples. People
lamented by folks around you. And it's sort of like, I am really curious how other people are able to change and have that change around me and have that change be met with, oh, good for you. That's excellent. Good job. And instead, any change that I make results in a loss of services to others.
Yeah, it
So
does.
it's like, I once had a business.
It's a good
that I
way to
was
put it.
running.
Loss of services to others.
You will notice it mostly in the morning. Yeah. Okay. So
Mostly at mealtime, you will notice loss of services.
yeah, 100%. I once had a small business of mine described by a member of my family as a rough time because the business was so successful. I was no longer cooking gourmet meals 9,000 times a day. And I was like, "Oh, was it? Didn't like that. Didn't like that." And it's fact. It's a fact. Remember a time was when I said I really am interested in regaining my health and starting to lose some weight and making that a priority. Oh, but you won't be the same person. Don't do that.
I do remember
Right.
that.
I won't be the same person for you because I'm not supposed to be that anyway.
I'll be the
So
best
I don't-
me I can be.
I don't mean for this to come out as bitter and harsh as it appears it's turning. Just saying there are increasing examples that I'm becoming aware of in my life when what feel like minor shifts and evolutions of myself and my priorities are met with such stoicism. I had no idea the rigid lines and box that people had put me in. And it's like, and so now that I'm aware of it, it's like, okay, it must be tough for you. Like, it's not stopping me, but it's just the awareness of it. I was like, I would have bet you hard money that everyone in my life would meet any evolution. I'm going to be a fucking, nude puppeteer. Great. I've been waiting for you to do this.
Support.
I'm so excited. Where do I buy tickets? Can I get a season pass? Like, where is that person instead of like nude puppeteer? Yeah, I get a lot of nude puppeteer pushback. Let me just say.
Not from TikTok. I'm sure that's
Well.
exactly the feed that you're looking to.
If I want to pull my boob strings, I'm going to pull them. That's how it's going to go. And the real people would support me, even as I make these terrible, terrible choices.
Real friends would support your evolution. Yes. As long as it's not detrimental to your safety and that you can pull those chairs right out of the pool and you could set them up just right and keep moving your palm fronds along. Those are the real friends, not just of the resort, but of the Amy. And that's
I think most of it comes down to this notion of motherhood and this elaborate universe of what makes a good parent, what makes a good nurturer. So much of that is tied up in this notion of you come last, because the prioritization is always every other person and thing. And I think that imbalance has gotten out of proportion in my life up to this point, you know, with increasing shifts over the past 2-3 years. It's always been, so it felt like I was 100%, I'm not even in the equation, to fuck you, and now trying to find some equilibrium. So it has been a massive, major attitudinal shift in the past 3 to 4 years. And so maybe that's why it's so obvious to others, because it's also obvious to me. Other people maybe aren't so far in one direction or the other. So I didn't realize I was out of balance for so long.
You're out of balance was the giving tree. I mean, it's the burnt piece of toast. It's the small piece of chicken. It's the giving tree. What if the giving tree said, you know what? All I am now is a stump. Could you get your fucking ass off of me, please, so I can breathe and try to grow or do something?
Right.
And that's kind of what being a mom is. And I think you took the nurture and you just ran with it and you put yourself last.
But I do want to say, as you just said, that's what being a mom is. I think that we have bought a narrative for too long. And that's the thing that I want to reframe for all of us just a little bit.
Great.
That's what being a woman is. That's what being a mom is. And the answer is, being a mom is nurturing yourself and others. And so to be the best mom, you have to treat yourself with the same support, guidance, you know, ability to cherish, kindness as you do everyone around you. And that somehow has gotten lost in the narrative that I heard my whole life growing up, and also in my faith. Like it is a tenet of my faith to be selfless, so it all gets kind of wrapped up in the highest and best thing you can do is to fuck yourself. Like, no,
to live
that's
in
the wrong answer.
In service. Yes,
that's the wrong
answer.
The
wrong answer.
Being a servant leader, right? Living in service, nurturing others, putting a priority on your children and their future, all great, and make great mothers, and don't abandon that. You simply have to include yourself.
Knowing where the toenail
priority.
clippers
That's
are
it.
and the tweezers, and
don't have to know that. There are lists for that, and also people can keep track of their own shit. I don't have to do that for them.
That would be great.
And if they can't, that's okay too. If it goes lost forever, that's okay too.
While you're on this, can you give me a little bang bang pop?
So everybody has started making microwave popcorn. I bought, against my better judgment, I chose to buy microwave popcorn for my medium son, who was here while large and small were out, right? The oldest no longer lives here. Numbers 2 and 3 do. Number 3 was with us. Number 2 was here. 2 weeks, no food. What's he going to do? Oh, my God. Oh, my Jesus. Let's not have DoorDash every night, for fucking sake. Bought some microwave. Bought a lot of things. Bought microwave popcorn. Bought it from Dr. Kirkland. The entire box somehow is slimy. Do you use microwave popcorn? It's terrible for you. It's the worst thing you could ever eat.
I do not.
That's why I don't buy it. It is so bad for you. It is harmful. It is physically harmful. The chemicals, the whole methodology of popping it, you should never eat it. But it's delicious. So we got it. Also because he'll eat it. So there's all these weepy, creepy Kirkland microwave pop packets that I'm trying to get through because I bought a Kirkland size vat. Okay. Made it, put it in a bowl. Then I decided that's not good enough for me. So then I melted some butter. And I also melted some brown sugar in the butter. And I stir that up. I stir that up all together. And then I drizzle that over top of my hot and steamy, freshly popped pop. And then I got some of that Maldon flaky sea salt. And I over top. And then I thought, you know what? Let's add in a little bit of red pepper flake just on the top.
Oh, my God.
So we had some 4th of July bang, bang, pop. And that shit was so delicious. I don't know what to say about it.
You're going to sell it. That's
so
what's going to happen.
good.
You're going to start another small business.
It was not sweet enough to be caramel corn, just shy of kettle corn, spicy with that red pepper flake come in there, salty, smacky.
That sounds
with the butter.
amazing.
It was so amazing and so good. And you're like sticking your finger in the metal bowl, getting up the last little bit and licking it because it's stuck to the bowl. That good. It was that fucking good. It's so easy. So good. It's so good.
My mouth is watering right now.
It's good. It's good time.
I want all of that. I want all of that. I have a glass pitcher. It looks like a pitcher with the rubber around it that you put the regular.
That too.
So that, did I send that to you? So that is not bad, like all of the chemicals in the paper in the microwave, but that also goes in the microwave. And the top has a little, put your tab of butter on top and it melts throughout.
As I understand it loosely, as I do, it is the fat of choice, period, that is harmful.
Okay.
Because it is solid at room temperature, and the fact that when they heat it in the bag, the contact with the bag and the fat transmuting into a different shape or source creates yet another off gas, another chemical. So the fat solid at room temperature, bad for you. The cooking method makes it worse for you. So there's just 1, 2, 3 bad. And then it's like high fat, high salt, whatever the fuck it is. It's super bad. But guess what? How much of this am I going to eat?
No, it's not.
One pallet from Home Depot. That's it. That's all I'm eating. And then I'll go back to not eating popcorn ever again. Especially when I cover it up. If it's going to be bad, let's cover it up with some chocolate sauce or some other kind of good stuff. Come on, let's go.
Are you now going to start making designer popcorn?
No.
You just did. It sound fly as fuck. It sounds so good.
Super good. I used to love making those Rice Krispie treat balls. Like you take the Rice Krispie treats, but you mound a whole bunch of other shit in it, and then you make it like wave form. So instead of pounding it all into some square, and then that way I also add extra marshmallow because
you can.
So
if
then,
you're playing with it.
So then you don't ever have to cut it. You could just pull it, and it's got that long snap.
Hey, let me ask you: when you're making those balls, do you have to spray your hands with like Pam?
Nope.
No? You just...
No. Just get them moist.
Wet. Okay. And
just a little bit wet.
After all of these things, I would like to recommend using dental floss, but please check your expiration dates because...
Here's the last one. I'm not big on s'mores, and I'm certainly not big on peanut butter s'mores, but if you take a Reese's peanut butter cup, full size, Reese's peanut butter cup, visualize it.
I got it.
Take your outdoor roasting stick, stick it right through the middle of that flat cup from one side to the other. Okay? So now you have a circle cup on it with a stick through it, like a lollipop, a nice flat lollipop. Dip that whole fucker into a vat of Jet Puff marshmallow fluff and then roast that shit so that you have a Reese's peanut butter cup coated in marshmallow fluff that browns on the outside like a marshmallow, and then you put that between your graham crackers and you have a chocolate peanut butter s'mores.
I think I just wet myself.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We had those at the wedding we went to. They had a s'mores bar, and I did not do your plan. I still roasted the marshmallow as normal, and instead of the block of Hershey, I put on the peanut butter cup, but yours melts both.
Yes.
You have a way of ratcheting up just a little bit to make everything a little bit louder, a little bit sharper, a little bit more delicious, a little bit everything. You elevate everything. And for that, I am incredibly grateful. And dear listener, you should be too, because she just changed your snack life and mine. We are so happy you came out to hear us chat. I hope we turned you on in some tiny, tiny, tiny way. And now I know how. I hope it was that s'more or, dear God, that Bang Bang Pop. Cannot wait to try that shit. I'm going to try that tonight. We're still at the beach, and I think I deserve it.
It's easy. It's a go anywhere, do anytime treat. It's super easy.
Now I need to go get a metal bowl because I just pictured licking my finger and going around the metal bowl for all that stuff.
It's the metal bowl, and I would have never done it in a metal bowl. It's just what I happen to have, and then it gets the sort of the salt and a little bit of sugary, oily, buttery, clingy. So good.
Industrial metal bowl. That's on my list. You know where I'll probably get it? From Dr. Kirkland. We love you guys. You take care. Bye.
Bye. His name is Dark Marvin. What's his fucking name? He's the professor with nuts on him. Shut up. I'm gonna get there. Let me get it. Eddie Murphy.